Right, what is up folks? Another very short, sharp video here for you today. Basically, a lot of people are having issues checking and making new names. .sat names, .btc names, whatever you're wanting to do. Now we'll start off first with how can you search for these functions. You want to navigate your way to unisat.io. Of course there are many other inscribing services you can use, but Unisat has a far superior searching function. You can go to search, you can search directly for sat names. So let's say AAA. And it'll search the database, and it will show you right here the first inscribed form of AAA.sats, which is inscription 178048. It also shows you all the other iterations that people have done. These are all second generations. So say basically if you had inscribed this and you thought, have I got the first one? You can come on here and say if you use inscription number 263838, you can go, what a shame, I'm not the first one. You know, so you're not going to have a version 1. Now, when you're looking for other names, obviously you can use the Unisat search function to search for Unisat names, but you can also use the text function. Now, say for instance if you wanted to search for a .gua, you could just literally put .gua and it will show you all the recording instances of .gua for the usernames. Alternatively, you can also search for, say, .pepe, and it will bring up all the iterations of the .pepe names that have already been done. So for instance, if you were thinking of doing elon.pepe, it's already been done, sub 10 million. This is obviously quite a handy function. So let's say you are looking for a conventional .sats name. I'll put something in that I don't think anyone will have. Floppy ears.sats. There we go. So nobody's actually done floppy ears.sats. You can also double check if you wanted to on the .sat iteration just to make sure, but the text also brings it up like I said. So now we're going to go to actually inscribing this bad boy. Now there's many issues of people saying you can just do the name as the name. So for instance, some people are saying you can literally just do this. And this will effectively work, providing you're doing it as a sat name. Because when it goes through it should do it as the post. Now I personally wouldn't do it this way. What I would do is I'd do it as, personally I would do it as a JSON file, and then you could put it in here. So floppy ears.sats, post, SNS, operation, registering a name for floppy ears.sats. The only reason why I say this is if you go onto the Ord website, it says directly on there, I'll see if I can find it actually. Oh no, I think I had it. Right, here we go, I managed to find it up. It took me a while to find the documentation, but I managed to find it. The protocol spec says, just as Randy from Ordinals Wallet did highlight in A spaces, the example it shows for instance satoshis.sats, so you can register them without using any of the JSON. However, it says here to do advanced registration, this format is optional. As everyone keeps saying, it's optional, but it will be required to do update operations. So if you want your name to be able to be updated or have relevance maybe in the future as they add more protocols to this, I would highly recommend doing it in JSON. And just to be clear, close that. If I was to search for text inscription, and I know that Randy did his Ordinals wallet one. It's not Sats, is it? There we go. Randy's Ordinal wallet one, even he did it as JSON. So it's relevant, I think, to make sure you do it in this format to make sure that you can add further operations to it in the future. But that being said, that is how you would go about doing it. Basically, so what you're going to want to do is you inscribe it, and then personally, you can either do your .sats by doing them like this, and I think it'll add the JSON for you when you do it as a sat name. However, if you're doing different names and you do it as text, I would recommend doing the JSON post like such, because then you could put floppy ears.gua, and when it goes through, it will show it here. You see, that is your text inscription there. Post, SNS, operation, registration the name, floppy ears.gua. Now, this would mean that in future you can add further operations to this. Of course, you could have easily just gone like this, However, that's how it will appear then. It won't have any of the JSON like it does when you do it as a sat name. Because, for instance, if we went to do floppy ears as a sat name and put it in post as JSON, it wouldn't let you do it. Because it doesn't recognise the JSON, you see. However, if I delete all of this, put it through like that, it'll check the name and it'll say that the name's free, and you can go to inscribe it. However, when you go to inscribe it, it is literally doing it as floppy ears.sats. It's not putting any of the post operations there. So personally, if you wanted to add them, I'd do them manually like that and put them as a text inscription. You can do several at once. If you want to do more than one, you'd change this from single to bulk, and you would put them in a list format as such, like that, one underneath the other, and you can put several names, like we already know Elon's taken, so I won't be doing that, and we'll put Belon dot sets. And then for instance, oh shit, no, that's fine, some text. It will then show them both as two separate inscriptions, giving you the text inscription, but it's written in JSON, so then you can add further operations in future. Once you've got these, you would obviously go to your next screen, and you would connect your wallet, and you would pay with your Ordinals wallet. And make sure that you put down a Ordinals enabled wallet. Do not send it to a regular Bitcoin wallet, because you will not get the inscription. If you have any further questions, feel free to drop a comment below, and I'll try and answer them as quick as I can. Have fun registering your sat names.